Some betrayals are hidden in plain sight, covered by lies so convincing that even the closest person never sees them coming. Rachel and Daniel had what seemed like a perfect marriage. Together for over a decade, 2 beautiful kids, a stable home, everything most couples dreamed of. Daniel was charming, funny, and always had an answer for everything. And most importantly, he was a dedicated father. But there was one thing Rachel found odd. Every time she mentioned Miss Taylor, their kids' teacher, Daniel would roll his eyes. Ugh, her again? That woman is unbearable, he'd groan. I don't know how our kids survive in her class. Rachel laughed it off at first. It was normal for parents to have opinions about teachers, but Daniel's hatred for Ms. Taylor was excessive. If she came up in conversation, he'd change the subject. If they saw her at school events, he'd steer Rachel in the opposite direction. And yet, despite his so-called dislike for her, he was always the first to volunteer for school meetings. Parent-teacher conferences, he insisted on going alone. No need for both of us, he'd say. I'll handle it. Rachel didn't think much of it until one night when she noticed something strange. Daniel had left his phone on the nightstand. She wasn't the type to snoop, but when the screen lit up, her stomach dropped. A message from an unknown number. I miss you already. When's our next meeting? Rachel's heart pounded. She opened the chat. Dozens of messages, hidden under a fake name. Dinner plans, secret meetups, even pictures. One of them unmistakably taken inside a hotel room. And then she saw the name at the bottom of one of the messages. Ms. Taylor. Her hands trembled. It wasn't just an affair, it was a calculated lie. The man who acted like he couldn't stand this woman had been sneaking around with her the entire time. And worse, he made sure Rachel would never suspect a thing by pretending he hated her. But Rachel wasn't about to let this slide. Instead of confronting him immediately, she decided to play his game. The next day, she casually mentioned Ms. Taylor again. She's actually quite nice, Rachel said, watching his reaction. Daniel scoffed. Please, that woman is insufferable. Rachel bit her lip, suppressing a smile. He had no idea what was coming. That evening, she sent a message from his phone while he was in the shower. Meet me at the usual spot tonight, 9 p.m. Rachel drove to the hotel, parking far enough to watch from a distance. At exactly 9 p.m., Daniel's car pulled up. Moments later, Ms. Taylor arrived, glancing around nervously before stepping inside. Rachel pulled out her phone and started recording. The next morning, she walked into the kitchen, casually placing his phone on the counter. You might want to check your messages, she said, sipping her coffee. Daniel grabbed his phone, his face turning pale as he saw the video. His mouth opened, but Rachel held up a hand. Don't bother, she said. I already sent it to your boss. Oh, and Ms. Taylor, the school board got it too. I doubt they'll keep a teacher who sleeps with married parents. Daniel stammered, trying to explain, but Rachel had already grabbed her keys. I'll let you figure out how to explain this to the kids, she said, walking out the door. And just like that, the man who thought he had covered his tracks so well lost everything in a single moment. Some cheaters are master manipulators, but no matter how smart they think they are, the truth always comes out.